Hey everyone, so this is my first video and I'm super nervous, so I apologize if it turns out kind of crappy and everything, but I just wanted to sit down and do my makeup and talk about some things, just conversation starters, things like that. So I'm not really going to talk about the makeup part. I'm just going to do it while I talk, and I'll link everything down below that I use. So if you want to kind of watch this video and hopefully give me some feedback, then keep watching. So if you are watching this and you don't know me personally, I am adopted. So my family and my brother are all white, and obviously I'm not, I'm Asian. So I don't like to personally contour a lot of my face, like my nose and like my facial structure, other than really my cheeks, just because I have a really round face and I'm not Chinese, I'm Korean, and Koreans have really high cheekbones. The reason why I don't like to really contour is because I feel like I don't know anything about my bio parents, and so when I contour I don't look like them, versus when I don't contour and I look in the mirror I see them. So if you have a closed adoption or you've never met your bio family, and you just kind of want to feel connected, it's a strange feeling, and it's a strange way to feel unless you're an adoptee and you know what it's like. But for those that are not adopted, it just it doesn't make sense sometimes. And if you know your adoptive or your bio family, like you met them after a while, or you know, you had an open adoption or a semi-open adoption and you don't like them, it could be different. You could be angry with them or something, but that's not my case. I don't know anything about my bio parents, and my bio mom actually passed away before I started doing research and trying to find them. So there's no way for me to ever meet her. And basically my story is she had me at home and dropped me off in an orphanage a couple days later. And I really hope that she was a good person. That sounds silly, because so many people have ideas about, you know, oh, adopting is, you know, for the child and, you know, their well-being. And I really hope that my bio mom was like Tyler and Caitlin from Teen Mom, and they did what was best for me, like me being Carly and doing the best in their eyes and their situation. But at the same time, I know how Korea and the Asian cultures are with being a teen mom and not being in a relationship with the baby's father. So I hope and pray that she was a good person and she did it for me and not personal, not for herself, not because like, oh, like I'm gonna be shunned and things like this, and like I didn't want this baby, it was a mistake, things like that. I actually joked the one time in high school something about me being a mistake, and my teacher caught it right away. She was like, don't ever say that again. She's like, you are not a mistake. She's like, none of you are a mistake. And that just really resonated with me, and I still remember it to this day. I have no idea if she would remember even saying that to me if I brought it up to her, but I do remember that. And so a lot of people ask me like how my parents are, and when I say my parents, I don't mean my bio mom and dad, because I obviously didn't know them. I definitely mean my actual parents, and a lot of people are like, no, they're your adoptive parents, and I'm like, definitely not. Yes, I'm not blood related to them, but they raised me. You know, they taught me everything that I know. They clothed me, they fed me. You know, they would discipline me. They, you know, loved me. And I say this all past tense, and I don't mean to, because they're still alive. But they, you know, just did an amazing job. I just have such amazing parents, and they definitely did the best that they could. And people always ask me what it was like to grow up in an all-white family, and they didn't treat me any differently than my brother. They didn't, you know, outcast me or anything like that, which I know isn't always the case, especially with like foster families and with both my brother and I being a part of the system, you know, for being adopted and things like that. I definitely sit with people that were in the system. I understand that it is not always fun and it's not always a happy, good experience. I'm very grateful that mine was. And now I can't find my blush. Give me a second, guys. Here it is. And FYI, I'm not putting concealer on because I don't really need it. I'm still kind of young and don't have like bags or anything under my eyes. Cross your fingers that it still happens. But I do have really oily skin, so that's why you saw me put primer and everything on. But anyways, back to what I was saying. I don't know. It was just a really great experience. You know, like I have really great family, and we're all really, really close. Growing up in an all-white community, pretty much, there was like one black family and everyone else was white, and it was a very rural area, and like farmlands and farm families and Amish and just everything. That was hard. I'm not gonna lie. I definitely had friends, and I definitely had, you know, a semi-great childhood, but I was definitely bullied. And to this day, it's crazy. I just had this conversation with people at my work the other day. I have been bullied since the time I was 8, and I'm now 27, and I'm still getting bullied. I got bullied in school. I got bullied in high school, in college, the workplace, outside the workplace. Like, I just get bullied all the time. And because of me being bullied so intensively and extremely when I was younger, I don't put up with it now that I'm older. I don't tolerate it. So whenever it comes up, I'm very blunt with people, and I'm very like, don't talk to me kind of thing. And I definitely stick up for myself. That's something I did not do when I was younger. I wanted to be like everyone else when I was younger. I wanted to fit in. I didn't want to stand out. And so, that's like my biggest regret with me being bullied when I was younger, is I just didn't stand up for myself. And I had so many friends that would tell me like, hey, I wish that they would stop. I wish I could do something for you, but nothing's going to stop them. They're just mean people. And I completely understand that they weren't going to stop. But let me tell you something. If you are getting bullied or picked on, or something bad is happening to you and people don't want to stand up, that like says even more. It's really important that if something bad happens that you're witnessing or hearing about, that you stand up for that person, because it might not make a difference to the person, the predator, the perpetrator, but it's going to mean a ton to the person, that the victim that's getting it done to them. I can say that honestly, and from the bottom of my heart, if people would have stuck up for me, it would have been a different outcome. So my senior year, I actually had to transfer. I had to move schools because the bullying was so bad. I literally had people from the time I was 8 years old, and even now, tell me all the time to just kill myself, and that, you know, if I were you, I would kill myself. And you know, I'm surprised you haven't done it yet, and I hope you get hit by a bus, and just some really awful things. And I remember telling 2 teachers, one in grade school and one in high school, and both of them actually did something about it, but both of them were shocked. They were like, people are actually telling you this? And I was like, yeah. And the only person, peer, that stood up for me growing up was my one friend. She actually beat the boy up on the playground, and said, you know, don't make fun of Emily anymore. But yeah, it's just, I can't say that enough, to just stick up for people, and to, you know, if you see something bad happening, you shouldn't stay silent, because silence is compliance, for sure. Like 100% silence is compliance. But yeah, I got bullied in college. This girl actually, she wrote on my Twitter, she mentioned me in a Twitter, and she was like, sweetheart, please go kill yourself. And I was just like, what? We're in college. I thought I left this behind in high school. But to be quite honest, I didn't leave it in high school because I still get it done in the workplace. And like I said, I'm 27 and I've been bullied just nonstop my whole life, pretty much. And the worst thing is that when I came out about my old school bullying me, and I came out and said these were the kids that were doing it, a lot of the parents were like, that's not my child, they wouldn't do that, and they were like in complete denial. And I was like, yes, they do. You know, and it's just sad that like people won't take accountability or see people, especially their children. Like, I understand you want to see your child, you know, in the good, but if someone comes up to you and says, hey, your child did this to me, and you're in complete denial, like, my child's the best child ever, that's not doing them any good. That's, you know, you're enabling bad behavior, and it just doesn't make sense. I had one freaking parent that was like, I hope it wasn't my son. And I said, it kind of was. And she's like, you will get an apology from him. And I did. And to this day, he even like feels really bad. And I've had people that were like, hey, I'm really sorry, like what I did to you in high school and stuff. And then I've had people that were like, oh, I liked you in high school. And I'm like, no, you didn't. And they're like, no, I did. I had like the biggest crush on you. And I was like, if you have the biggest crush on me, why would you pick on me? Why would you tell me to, you know, kill myself, and, you know, that I was ugly and things like that? And for people that say, oh, well, boys, you know, they pick on girls, or they're just picking on you because they like you. No, we need to stop that. That's how rape culture happens. That's how we enable males to get away with that. And that is not okay. So that's my 2 cents. I'm actually going to get into that in a different video. I don't want to do it here because I didn't do a trigger warning at the beginning. But I just kind of wanted to talk about a little bit of my background, as well as my bullying experience, things like that. These hopefully aren't going to be like super long videos unless I'm like really beating my face. But hopefully, you know, this resonates with some people and it gets people talking, and they can, you know, comment good, bad things, experiences that you've had. I will take it all. Sorry, I can't really talk and do my lips at the same time. But I did a lot of research on bullying in college, and I actually created an anti-bullying club that I was president of. Unfortunately, my mental health kind of took a toll on it, and I wasn't the best leader, and it still upsets me that I wasn't who I should have been for the club and for my followers that were a part of the club. But unfortunately, my mental health is something that I struggle with and have struggled with for years. And I did a lot of research, and unfortunately, I hate to tell people, but bullying is not going to go away. It's been around forever. We just are now being more aware of it because of social media and online and cyberbullying. And unfortunately, it's not going to go away. So not that I'm against these, you know, stop bullying groups and organizations, but instead of quote unquote trying to make it the mission to stop, because there's so many things that go into it that make it happen, that it's just not going to go away. So I feel like instead of trying to get it to stop, make it not tolerable. Make it so that way you hold people accountable for their actions. I don't care if they're 8, I don't care if they're 40, I don't care if they're 80. You need to be held accountable for your actions. Extreme Ownership. Read the book. It's a good book. But just be accountable and not make it tolerable, and be like, hey, this is a crime. Like, if you can't be nice, this is a crime, unfortunately, because there's just a lot of people out there that just can't be nice. And unfortunately, when you're impacting someone else's life so much that they want to kill themselves, that's a crime, in my opinion, in my like little world of like right and wrong. Who are you And how miserable are you in your life that you have to tell other people to kill themselves, or that they shouldn't be here, or they need to go back to where they belong or something, that you want to impact someone's life in such a negative behavior. And that to me just baffles me. It always has. I've never wanted to be like that. But I am done with my makeup. I just have to spritz myself. So hopefully, sorry. And I don't know why, but like this Morphe spray, it like comes out with like dots of white stuff. I don't know why. But something very simple, because it's supposed to be really hot today. And when it's hot, I don't like to wear a ton of makeup. I just like to wear light, minimal makeup. But hopefully, you know, you enjoyed this video. If you didn't, please let me know. I'm all about critique, whether it's good feedback or bad feedback or ugly feedback. Just try to be nice, please. Even if it's negative, you can still be nice. And then if you guys like it, I will definitely make another one. So thanks.